My question is that being that we're speaking of a population that's growing and 7 billion at this point, in Africa, obviously, the issue often is survival, but when you're implementing new innovation strategies, is there an approach about efficiency or sustainability? Have you seen like strategies that have been implemented that really focus when they're putting in new infrastructure to try to make it done effectively with less energy and less transport?
Let me first of all say that the current system is totally non-sustainable. So as I indicated previously, African farmers are mining their soil and that eventually reaches to the point where the land is no longer productive and in some cases really can't be brought back without very significant cost implications. So the sustainability question is it's a tricky one because you need to be ecologically sustainable, but it also needs to be economically sustainable in order for the production to increase and actually continue over the long term. So yes, we are looking for sustainable systems, but those systems have to then be adopted by farmers and lead to increased profits for those farmers. And for 20 years, we invested, the Rockefeller Foundation invested in soil fertility research in Africa, trying to come up with strategies that would allow African farmers to improve the fertility of their soil without using fertilizer. And technically, we came up with a range of different strategies. Leguminous cover crops, mucuna being one of those, agroforestry systems. And technically, all of those systems worked. And in fact, they worked in test villages. When our grantees went into a test village and implemented these projects and provided the farmers with the seeds and the like of the cover crops, technically they worked. But the village next door or down the trail didn't adopt those technologies. And once the project ended, even the village that had adopted those technologies no longer did because they required significantly increased labor without enough return for that labor for the farmer to judge it a wise use of her labor. And if you added a little bit of fertilizer to that system, you wound up with a synergistic system. The fertilizer actually improved the efficiency of the organics that were going in, and the organics improved the efficiency of the fertilizer, and that became a much more profitable system for the farmer, a greater return on the labor that she was putting in, and those types of systems have tended to be sustainable. Now, some people will say that's not sustainable because it's dependent upon fertilizer. Well, you know, if you say that it's not sustainable because it's based on energy, which is not sustainable, well, that's the whole world. And I don't think we should penalize African farmers from getting a little bit of that energy as well as the rest of us in the world.